This is where this new trail exploration begins. According to the Kananaskis guide, second white post, head up the bank. There is a bit of a, literally, very small piece of cut across there, so I'll have a look and see what I can find. But isn't that a nice sunrise? It's going to be a good day. Just enough chill in the air to create a bit of mist. So I can tell you now, I park down there. It's the safest place to park along here, I guess. And where I'm going to turn off, second white post, up this hill here somewhere. Go and see what I can find. Alright, so my trail begins. I just got to stop and have one more look at this before I head up the mountains, because once I get into the trees I'm not going to get too many more views like that. Look at that. So that's where I came up across. There's a gate there, one of those wire fence gates. Make sure you close them. This is a power line here, you just cut them across the power line. And so come straight across into the forest. I'm going to head that way. Well, I'm going to stop and enjoy that for a second or six. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Yeah. Wow. It's going to be a hot day today, I've got a feeling. Those clouds are high and thin, and the air is chilly this morning, so that's good. I have one layer on. I've got extra layers, but I've got one layer on. But I'm willing to bet you it's going to be a hot one today. So that will dictate how far I go. But isn't that a nice view for the morning? I will take that. That is a great start. Right, on I go. Only a couple of small deadfall to clear out already, and that was it so far. So, mind you, we've got a long way to go yet, so I'll do some more in a bit. Right, again, I'm glad I put my welly boots on. A little bit of mud in here, but I think by the end of the day it's going to be pretty much dried out. So, right, down here across the creek and up the other side. Right, so I've just crossed that creek, come up the hill. There's a trail goes around that way. That's trail 20. I may well come back that way, I don't know. But 18 goes off this way somewhere. So I might come back that way. That's 20. That links up to somewhere I was the other week. We'll head up this way, and somewhere up across here is trail 18. So you come up across this meadow. This is the 2018 turn off. Something been digging in there, look. That's a big excavation. If I didn't know better, I'd say that was bears. However, I see a lot of cow prints in there too. I don't know, that's kind of weird. Fairly fresh too, yeah. So down that way is 20. That's the way you came from the road. That's 20 over that way. You'll turn up here, there's a couple of big deadfalls across here. There's some tape in here. There's a blaze on the tree over there. Quite a nice sized blaze. And you come up here. This is trail 18. Just cleared a few bits of deadfall off the trail right there. And going to carry on heading north. Now this trail follows them almost north, so if you were lost, just to the left of north is where this trail runs, pretty much. Right, on I go. So I've just come to a whole bunch of downed aspen over there. You do have to walk through that downed aspen. I'm going to cut a bunch of that out on the way back. Just there you'll see that there's a split. There's a trail goes down the bottom. There's a trail comes up here. So take the right hand side and follow it up. Cut yourself somewhere. Right, follow this up and we'll see where it goes. Right, just coming up for the creek crossing. Cows are moving up a storm down here. Just scared a whole bunch of them out. They all took off like crazy. Yeah. Well, you can make a rise and shine. Trouble is, if they all come piling up this trail now, there's not a lot of space for me to go. I'll let them know I'm here. Well, you can make a rise and shine. Alright, I'm going to go down here and up the bank the other side there. Right, I'll do some more when I get up there. Just going to clear out some of this alder that's on. These cows are kicking up a storm, eh? They're all down in there somewhere. Heading down that valley. Right, so I just came down that slope you can see on the far side, through the gully, up the top, and I found this. This looks like a pretty good trail. I'm going to head up that way. Just going to check my trusty map, make sure I'm not following a cow trail, and head that way. Right, the moo storm seems to be behind me now. So walking up through here, it's nice black soil. Yeah, it's good soil. A lot of this trail is like this all the way up through. That's why I stopped to get the views at the beginning, because once you're into this, until I get to the big meadows at the top, you're not going to see a great deal. Oh, a few more little bits of deadfall. Let me get those off the trail and then I can continue. Right, didn't have to go far to find the next one. Right, let's get that one cleared out of there. I can't drag that one either, I might have to cut this one twice, it's a pain. Cow. There's a creek down in the bottom there. Basically this trail, that's facing south. There's a creek in the bottom there. That's facing north. Basically it follows up beside the creek. Well, the cows are all wandering down through the valley where the creek is, because they don't mind the tall wet grass. But, let me get this one off the trail and continue. Right. Done and dusted. That's a pain. Let's cut that one twice. God, those cows are... Listen. Be amazed how far that sound travels in the forest. That has actually helped me out on a few occasions in the past. You get up in somewhere and you think, where the hell's that big meadow gone? And then you hear all that racket and you think, probably over there. Yeah. Well, so far this trail is actually not too bad. There is a big meadow up here somewhere, which I suspect is where all the moofaloes have come from. So we'll head up that way. A few wet patches in here. It has been raining, so glad I put my wellies on again. And the top end of this one apparently is pretty bad, so we'll see what we can find when we get there. Right, so I've just come out of a very noisy forest, thanks to the cows. They're moving up a storm. They quite often do first thing in the morning. That's one of the only problems with camping up in places like this. You cannot sleep in. I'm telling you now, you can't sleep in. Once they start that. But I can tell you something else. What a glorious bloody day. Now I do know from the trail guide that I read, from the Kananaskis guides there, Gillian's books, that I need to head across here into those aspens. There's a stand of aspens right at the far side there, you can see. There's a very well trodden trail across here in this first part. Isn't that amazing? Oh wow. Whew. Now the other side of that hill, in the next valley over, is trail 19. That's the one I was working on the other week. But, I'm now in the next valley over. This is 18. A lot of deadfall for me to clear out on the way back. I was going to do a big loop and come back a different way down 19, but I've already cleared out a load on 19, so I know that that's actually not too bad. But this, yeah, that stand of aspens over there is where I'm heading. But, oh, look at this. If that isn't magic, I don't know what is. Bloody cows, they're moving up a storm down there. Right, I'm going to continue on to that little pile of aspens over the other side there and do some more when I get there. See, looking back down the valley where I just come from, see the cow down in there? Big black shape just came walking out the bushes as I came past there. The farmer up in here needs to paint his cows like green and blue or something, because they are exactly the same colour as black bears. Even though you know there's a lot of cows up in here, it still keeps you on your toes when you see something big and black coming out of the bush. Look at that though. Isn't that nice? I'll take that. Right. I'm heading north up this valley. Actually, just slightly left of north, for all those people that like to navigate. Yeah, just slightly left of north. On I go. Right, this is the trail facing south. There's a salt lick down there, which I was going to film. But there was about 4 or 5 cows at the salt lick, and then a stampede of probably about 30 to 40 cows come up through the valley. So I thought, no, I don't want to be in the middle of that lot. So I took off up through the bush there a little way, just paralleled the trail, just in case they were coming up through this way at a rapid rate of knots. Yeah, no wish to be squashed by a pile of cows. Right, we've got a bit of a dip here. Yeah. Nice muddy dip. Right, let me put this camera away until I get up the other side. Ooh, that is a muddy one. Right, let's find a way across that. Right, so this is a view looking south. That kind of braids around a bit in there with the cows. There's a big meadow down through those trees over there, and but it's still kind of going in the right direction. So heading up this way. Got a lot of deadfall down, a lot of aspen. That stuff's heavy. You cut aspen, you know you've cut it, because rolling those big logs off of there, let me tell you, they are heavy. Yeah. The trouble with cows and horses, you walk in the same hole, so you end up with these ruts. What have we got here? Right. So this is definitely the trail. There's a whole bunch of cut logs on here. So look at the aspen. Aspen everywhere. I've been stepping over this stuff. I've been cutting out the stuff I can. But big logs like this, I ain't cutting those. A log like that in aspen that's wet, oh, that's dangerous, that's heavy. Yeah. So I'm going to head up that way and let you know when I get to the cut line. There should be a cut line coming up here, not too far away. I'll let you know when I get there. Well, this is interesting. Found a small track there and a bigger track there. One there. I think I can see a claw. Yeah, there's a claw there. Look. See that little claw? And that other little mark there. One there, one there. That's a canine of some description. So it could be a coyote. It's a bit small for a wolf, way small, especially this time of year. But looks like it might be a coyote up in here somewhere. Well, that's interesting. I've come to a split in the trail, and this part of the trail on this side has all been brushed out, which is unusual, because there's various cuts down there. There's a nice trail along the bottom, but this, let me just come up here and show you, has all been brushed out fairly recently. I'm looking at where the sun is. That trail down the bottom kind of goes my way, and this kind of swings up around the corner. So if I had to guess, because that's swinging up around, that's facing east roughly. If I had to guess, see, the only people that come up in here with chainsaws are the horse people, but I haven't seen any horse tracks whatsoever. But these are fresh. This is this year's. That's this year's cut. That wasn't last year. So somebody's been up in here and cleared the trail that way. Now I know that there is a cut line up in there somewhere, and I know I'm very close to it. I've got a dilemma now. I have a really well worn trail that way, and I have one that's been cut and cleared this way, but this one goes in a slightly wrong direction. So I'm going to follow this up a little bit and just see, because people that live around here don't usually clear trail big trees like that unless there's a reason. So I expected to follow this valley up, I must admit. So I will go up here a little way and just have a look. And, but I have a feeling I might be coming back down to that other trail. I'll go and have a look, see what we got. So as counterintuitive as it might seem, whoever cut those logs on that corner knew exactly where they were going, because that is actually the trail. So when you get to that point, which was down that way, when you get to that point and you think, hey, I'm swinging around the wrong way, you're not, you're actually going the right way, because whoever cut that clearly knew where this trail was. A lot of alder in that here. This is the cut line. As you can see, it goes the way the hell off up that way. And if you go all the way up to the top of there, and I'm not going up there because that looks really, really steep, that takes you up to the top of the ridge there, which I think, I'm not sure, it might be called Gleason's Ridge, I'm not sure, but either way that takes you up there. But the way back on trail 18 is actually that way. There's a lot of scrub on this corner, a lot of junk, so I'm just going to clear some of that out, make it a bit more obvious, and go from there. I did notice actually when I got here there was a little bit of old flagging tape in the tree there, just a little bit, but as you can see, that is trail 18. I'm just going to clear some of this alder out of here and we should be good. they were right. The chainsaw man was correct. So when you get to that point, you are going to turn to the right and not go straight on, because that goes wet. I had a quick look. That goes wet down into the bottom there. That's obviously where the cows go. Yeah, so the trail you want is actually up this way. And then when you get to here, you're going to go down the valley that way, and that'll take you down towards the big meadow where trails 19, Link Creek Trail, Trail 19 and 18 all kind of mix. Right, so let me just clear out some of this scrub and we can go from there. Right, so this is the cut line. If you're heading round to the meadow for Trail 19, it's down that way. I'm heading that way in a minute. This is the turn off. I've cleared out all this scrub on the corner. You can clearly see the old trail. It was hard to see because it was all overgrown with this alder stuff, and it grows so bloody fast, this stuff. It's just crazy. See, it's all cut back now. You come back here like 2 years from now, it'll all be overgrown again. So I cut down through here. I always like to do this. There's a log there. You can clearly see there's a gap cut through the log. There is a little wet bit just down in the bottom there. Just have to tiptoe across there, really easy to get across. So this is Trail 18 heading south, and I'm now on the cut line. So, well, that corner's a lot easier to find now. Yeah, it's a little bit of a braided cow trail mess in there, that little top piece, but whoever it was that cut that with the chainsaw clearly knew the route through there, so that's good. So thank you very much, whoever that was. I suspect it was the horse people, because the Anchor D and what have you come up through here quite a lot, and if they were heading back, they'd head up over that hill down the other side on a horse. It's actually not too bad, but I don't think I'd want to walk up it. Right, I'm going to head down here. This is a little overgrown down through here, so I've got to make quite a lot of noise, because I did find a fresh pile of bear crap on the way up here when I was avoiding the cow stampede. I went off uphill a little bit and I did find some fresh bear crap in there, so maybe that's why they were moving up a storm, because there might be a bear around here somewhere. So I will put this away, clear out some of this alder and go from there. Right, there we go. I cleared out all that alder. Couldn't even walk through there. Getting down. That's good. There's a whole bunch more further down the cut line. There's a great big tree across here on the cut line. I ain't cutting that. That's a chainsaw job. Yeah. Right, so I'm going to cut down here, up over the other side, and then at the top of that little bit of hill over there, I'm going to kind of swing around to the right, and that should bring me into the meadow that I know very well. So we'll head up that way. Right, I've just come down the cut line that way. A little bit wet in the bottom there. A couple of bits of dead fall here need to come out of the way. That one can come out. Cut the small ones here, cut the small ones there. A lot of alder in here. I just cleared out a whole bunch of alder. Loads of it. Yeah. So I'll clear that out, get rid of this trunk, and go from there. Right, that's that out of the way. That was a reasonable sized log, so I dragged it down and put it across the mud hole just to make it a bit easier to get across that piece. Put some big rocks in there. So to head to Trail 18, you'll come down this slope, up over the other side. There's one big steppy over tree up there that's about 8 inches through. You go up there, just past there on the right hand side, you'll see the start to Trail 18. If you find yourself at the top of that hill, then I'm going to head down this way to my meadow. Once I'm in the meadow, I'll have a look, see what I'm doing. I might head up north again on the 19 since I'm out this way, and clear out a bit more of Alder Alley, and we'll see how that goes. Right, on I go. Right, so I'm continuing down the cut line. There was a bit of a wet patch back there, to say the least. There was a culvert across there, but it was all blocked up, so not a lot we could do with that. So down in here is a salt lick. And if you're not familiar with what a salt lick is, it's they put these things out in the middle of nowhere because there's a lot of cows on that up in here. Obviously they need salt and whatever. It's very important for them. So you'll find these things. They actually recycle tyres. They cut the wire out of it and fill them up with salt. In actual fact, looking at those blocks, they haven't been in there long. Those are fairly new blocks, so I wonder if that's why the chainsaw has been up through here. Maybe they come up and monitor the trails and stuff. But, yeah, that is a salt lick. Cows come up, get all their salt from it. Now I got something. Yeah, okay, there we go. Right, so my cut line continues down that one. Just up there, it gets very wet, and they cut the patches up through there, which is a bit of a pain. But there's no easy way around it. You just kind of go off to the side, not through the middle of it. It's fairly muddy. Right, down through here, I'm not going all the way up that hill on the side. I've got to turn off here in a minute. I'm going to peel around to the right, and that will take me around into the big meadow where 19 is, and then I can decide on which way I go from there. Right, this is the other end of that watershed where the cows were coming up through, which is great for cows, but that is knee-high grass in there and it's soaking wet. So even though there was a couple of little wet patches, there was probably about, I don't know, 100 feet, 200 feet of wet patch up through there to deal with. I'd rather deal with that than come up through there. So now my question is, where to next? I know I've got to peel round off this, so I'm going to peel round off of this cut line. The cut line continues on up through there, and I know that's not where I want to go, so somewhere up around here. And it does look like there's a bit of a cow trail, and I know there's a very nice meadow up here and full of lots of yummy grass where I know I've seen cows. So my suspicion is the cows know the way, so I will follow them. Up around this corner here somewhere would be my guess. If I had to guess, this is fairly wet in here. Yeah, if I had to guess, I'd go that way. Let me go see. It seems to be following around that way. Yeah, that looks like a trail over there. Yeah. It's easy for the cows to walk through this stuff, not so easy for people. The only problem is cows make big puddles. Yeah, this looks more like a trail. So we'll head on up through here, I think. Yes, certainly heading in the right direction. I'll swing around to the north now. That's where I've just come back up through that valley there along the side of that mountain you can see there. Right, so I'm going to head up this way. Once I'm up in the meadow, I'll decide which way I'm going to go. Right, so here I am now back into the big meadow, one that I know very well. Up over there you'll see the yellow sign for the Link Creek Trail. That's Trail 19 North, heads up through there. That's a nice trail. I've been up over there last few weekends now. I've been up through that way. Cleared out a lot of the alder and what have you up through there. There's a culvert just out in the middle of this grass here, and Trail 19 actually disappears. Oh, sorry, squirrel. I heard a noise right behind me. It's a squirrel. The just up through there, where I'm pointing over there, that's Trail 19 that heads backwards. Now I've got a dilemma because Trail 18 actually wasn't that bad. So if you come down into this corner, you'll see there's a bit of marker in the tree there. There's a fallen over tree. If you just follow up through here, it's fairly easy to follow, a few things to step over, and then peel round to the left onto the cut line, follow that along for a few hundred yards. You go over a wet piece, up a hill slightly, and then you can turn right, and that will take you all the way back down Trail 18 again. Now I've just done Trail 18, and in all honesty it's actually not that bad. There's a little bit of deadfall in there, but somebody has been through there with a chainsaw. So what I might do, since I'm here, and I've got here quicker than I thought I was going to get here, is I will head up across the meadow. I'm not going to head back up to Alder Alley, but what I will do is head back down 19. Let me just head out across this grass here a bit. You've got to watch this grass because it's pretty bloody wet. Oh, I know the cows don't mind walking through it, but look at it, see? So I will get across to where the path is, which is over near these two little pine trees here in the middle, and then I will cut across the culvert. Oh, yucky grass. Yeah, so this is why I didn't walk up through the grass through the valley, because you get absolutely soaked. So I will show you where the turn-off is here. Turn-off's really easy to find. Right, so if you were heading north, Trail 19 is over that way. If you're heading south on 18, it's down over there through that corner over there. And 19 heading back is that way. So what I'm going to do is head back up 19. I'm going to cut across. And I think I'll do the bottom end of 20. I think I'll do when I get over there. I think I'll do that one. It's, that bit down through there doesn't really need me to walk down through that way anymore. So we'll head this way. The old culvert's here still. Oh, just going to get over into these trees and have a drink of water. Yeah, been to this meadow a few times recently. Yeah. Oh, that's nice in the trees. The other thing is it's starting to get warm, so as you can see that's trail 19, big diamond up there. Trail 19 heads that way. This is a very nice meadow. Off to the left is 19 heading north. Off to the right is the cut line that heads across to trail 18 down that way. And I'm going to have a drink of water and then head back that way. Right, one last look at the meadow. As I just swapped out my battery, I just suddenly realised I hadn't swapped out my battery for a while, and also I realised I hadn't eaten anything all day, so I thought, oh, I better simply, I have a terrible habit of doing that. I'll set off and I get everything set in my mind, and I set off and get going down the trail and suddenly think, why am I feeling a little bit, oh I know, I haven't eaten all day. Yeah. So, water break, food break, we're all recharged, batteries are topped up, my batteries are topped up, time to head back. So this is trail 19 from the big meadow. This is trail 19. This one's really easy to follow. I've been working on this one for last, I don't know, half of the summer. Yep, I did the top end, I did all Link Creek Trail, I did all the bottom end here. As you can see, somebody's been through here with a chainsaw and cleared all this out, so that's nice. Yeah, this follows a little bit of a cut line up here. The cows make these bloody mud holes. And we've had some decent rain. I'm not going to knock it. We've had some decent rain. We do need it because the forests were getting a little dry. And yeah, forest fire season is actually not doing too bad. I think we're down to 73 forest fires now, and only one of those is listed as out of control. So it's, that's good. Crews have been very busy. We had a couple of hundred people come in from all over the world. They actually come, and we do the same thing. Canada sends people off to places and they come to us. It's all part of a mutual aid thing. You'll see I've cut back loads of this alder and that up through here. So the yeah, I think some of the international firefighters have actually headed home now, which is good. Like I say, we're down to 73 wildfires, which sounds a lot to anybody who's not used to wildfires, but that's actually not a lot. It's last year or whatever it was, we had 1,200 and somewhat. It was insane. Yeah. So this year actually hasn't been too bad. Yep. We lost a bit of Jasper, the town of Jasper. I'm not going to get into the politics of that too much, but unfortunately Parks Canada doesn't listen to the professionals that actually know what they're talking about. And they had forests full of deadfall, absolutely full of deadfall, huge fuel load, thousands and thousands of pine beetle killed trees, and it was all just there, you know. It was just waiting. It was a perfect storm waiting to happen, and sure enough it happens. Unfortunately they didn't listen to a lot of the people that actually know what they're talking about. So all those trees should have been cleared out. They could have cleared all that out of there, done them up for firewood, done whatever with them, you know, got rid of them. Yeah. You've got to reduce the fuel load. I mean, if I look in this forest here, there's a huge amount. If you look at all this, let me give you an example. See that tree there? All that bottom end is all dead. That's what's called ladder fuel. So if you get a grass fire, which is not unusual, we do get grass fires. You get a grass fire come through, or lightning hit one of those trees, it literally runs up that tree so fast. And if you look at this entire forest, it's full of it. It's absolutely full of that. So it doesn't take long for a fire to get up in the canopy. Once you've got, these trees are what, 100, 120 feet tall. Once you've got a fire up in there, the flames are going to be double that height. So now you've got 200-foot flames. Up at Jasper, the flames were 100 meters. They were 300 feet. And it's, sorry, 300 meters. That's, no, 300 feet, sorry. And the, at one point, the winds up through there were literally blowing at 100 kilometers an hour. There is absolutely no way any fire service can do anything to do that. But what they should have done in the 20 to 30 years before that, when everybody was telling them, hey, this is going to be a problem, what they should have done is started removing the fuel load. And it may not have stopped the fire, but it would have certainly made it way less intense, that's for sure. Right, I'm going to continue on up through this way, and I'm going to turn off here in a minute. Right, heading back down trail 19, cutting out a few more bits of deadfall. So this is what I do. Last time I came up through here, I stepped over that one. This time, I'll cut it out. Chuck the other bit over there. Yeah. But that's what I do. As I said in one of my other videos, I can't possibly clear all the junk off the trail in one hit. It would absolutely kill me to do 2 kilometres. So what I do is a bit and a bit and a bit and a bit. I can tell you now, look at that. Isn't that nice, eh? What a great walk. This is such a nice walk down through here. More people should do this. This is 19 North. It's a trail that doesn't really go anywhere, but if you like a nice quiet walk through the forest, just wandering around enjoying the peace and quiet, this is a really good trail for that. Right, on I go. So halfway down 19, there's another salt lick over here. Let's have a look. It's got salt in it too, look. Yeah. All kinds of good minerals and that in there for the cows. It's really good for them. That's why the ranchers and they put them out here. Some of these salt licks have been out here for years and years and years. Yeah. I find quite a lot of them with no salting. All the ones I've seen up in here so far in the last couple of days have all got salt in. Right. So this is the meadow. There's a red diamond on the tree up there. That's trail 19. That's facing north. Cut across this little meadow. Really nice tree down in the middle. That's nice. Yeah. And they come down here. Now there's 2 bits that kind of wander off here, and it's easy to end up on the bottom trail, and you don't really want to do that because it's really wet. So I'll show you the top trail. It does have a red diamond in it. There is a fairly well-worn trail that heads off down that way, but the trail you want is straight in front. So across the meadow. That's why whenever there's a path like this, because I always try to walk it and not braid off it. There is a trail that goes off down through that way, and when you get down to the muddy crossing where the culverts are on the bank, there's a trail that brings you up through the middle of that lot, and it's not nice. So this is a really good trail. You can see the old red marker up in the tree. Look at that. This one's almost completely covered. Look at that. Isn't that cool? That is absolutely brilliant. So I'll get the sun off the lens. Look at that. The tree's almost consumed it completely. Yeah. So this is trail 19, heading south. There's a bit more order down here, so I'm going to clear off some more bits of that. This is what I do. I just wander along, and I have my little nippers in my hand, and then I just trim bits off. That does 2 things. Keeps the trail walkable, keeps it very obvious. It also shows people that it is being maintained. All the way down through here now, I've cut literally hundreds of trees off this trail this summer. You'll find there's loads. I keep finding lots and lots of them now. Yes, which is nice. I've just cut a few more out at the other side there. Now I'm going to head south, down that way. Right, so I've just come down to the bit in the guide where it says the culverts languish on the banks. Cut across the mud pit, put my obligatory couple of rocks in there. Every time I cross here I put more rocks in, but I don't think it makes any difference whatsoever. However, I put a really big one in the middle there, and that actually works really, really well, because that makes a good stepping stone halfway across. So across there, you'll see the old diamond on the tree up there. You're going to go, there's 2 trails there, it splits left and right, but you want to take the right hand side trail. It looks a little muddy for that first 50 feet. That is actually the proper trail, and it will take you up onto a much nicer trail. So yeah, when you go past that diamond, keep to the right, follow that trail up through there. I'm going to go back up over the top of the hill here, and back onto the cut line that's over here, down into the meadows, and then I'm going to head on down trail 20, which is down the other side there. Right, let me head that way. I've been keeping a close eye out around here. Mind you, you're never going to see a cougar out here, but this is where I saw that cougar track the other week. So this is 19. There's the red marker in the tree. The culverts are just up that way, literally just over the hill. You're going to come up here. This will bring you out onto the cut line. It's down here. This is where I saw the cougar tracks. Just down that way. So I'll have a look. This is deer and cows. No, it's cow. Okay, yeah. So this is your turn off if you're heading that way, heading up 19. You'll see some sticks across the trail here. Head in there, there's a bit of marker, and just through the trees you can see the orange diamond there, the red diamonds in the tree there. Right. head south down that way. I've got a nice bit of downhill coming now, so that's good. Right, on I go. See if I can find any more of those tracks. Just looked where I saw those tracks there the other week. I can't see them now, so I'm quite right out. They're literally just here. Yeah. You turn off just up there on the right, and you'll come down this cut line. It's fairly steep, there's a few steppy overlooks, and you'll come out into the big meadows here at the bottom. You've seen that on some of my other videos. Look at this for a glorious day. It's actually warming up. I don't know what temperature is, but it's warm. I've only got one layer on, and let me tell you, I'm hot. Right, we'll continue on down this way into the meadows, and I'll show you the next bit. Right, so I've just come down the cut line that way. The cut line faces roughly north. There's another piece of trail that goes on that side. Don't bother with that. That's just an old logging road. That's a million of deadfall. That's your way if you're heading 19 north. It'll bring you down here into a large meadow. And anybody that's watched my other videos will know this meadow fairly well. There's a little bit of wet patch here where the cows all congregate in the shade, so let me see if I can just go around this. Because if you was heading up Missing Link Mountain, this would actually be an important turn off. I'll show you. But let me just get across the cows. Swamp. It's a double-edged sword because their hoofs keep water in the forest, but it makes it a pain to walk through. What's that in there? Trees. That's a tree, but yeah, just something large and dark over on the side there. The trouble with these cows up in here at the moment, they're all jet black, which is the same colour as their bears, well, a lot of their bears. Right, so this is back into one of my favourite meadows. This is really nice. I like this meadow. I've done this piece a few times now. I'm going to turn off down here somewhere different on the way back. Now, if you were doing what's the name? Missing Link Mountain, you would, let me get on the trail and I'll show you where it is. This trail here, if you were doing Missing Link Mountain from this end, you would go up through the forest this way. This is 21B and C, it kind of splits up over that way. One goes that way, one goes that way. And you can follow it off up the mountain along the top of the ridge there. Trail 19 is over there, you can see an orange marker in the tree over there. Trail 19 is that way. I'm heading down here. I'm going to go across this creek crossing around the corner, and then after the next one there's a turn off that I'm going to do, which is trail 20, so there's a different route back. So I'll head down across here and over the creek. Right, just going to stand in the creek for a while, cool my feet down. Oh, this is nice and cool. There's not a lot of water in here. I'm trying not to move around too much because I don't want to kick up too much sediment. That's my downstream. Nice, eh? Oh, this is so cool on the feet. There's that meadow. You just come out. The trail 19 is literally straight across through that way. 21B and C goes off to the side. 19 goes that way. It's a very nice meadow. Anybody that's watched my other videos will know all that. Yeah. Right, across this one. Oh, that is so cool. My feet now are really, really cool. Now, if you want an interesting little walk, it's only a very slight detour. You can walk back round this one. This is the meadow that way. But there's also a piece of a cut line, an old cut line that goes off up through there, the continuation of the cut line. If you go up there, it actually brings you out at the other creek crossing, which is rather nice. Yeah, but I'm not going to go that way. I'm going to head this way. Because I'm turning off down here in a minute. But you can go that way. If you just want a slight detour, it's just a very slight modification to the trail, but just makes it a little bit more interesting. It's a bit brushy up in there though. It's only a short piece of cut line, and at the end of it you have to kind of turn left off it and down to the creek. So I'll head up this way. Try and stay in the shade. It's another one of our markers buried in the tree. That shows you how long those things have been there. Look at that. They've been there a while, those things. Yeah, that must be 2-inch recessed into the tree at least. Oh, come on cows, you've made lots of holes here. This is why in cattle country I quite often hike in welly boots. People have said to me, why do you wear welly boots? Trust me, in cow country it's good to. They chew up the mud. You end up with lots of little muddy areas, like swampy areas. And you know what it's like, you're in your hiking boots, You're trying to keep them clean. You don't want to be like mud over the top of your boots, getting down your socks and all that kind of crap. So I can tell you now that welly boots are good. And when you come to creek crossings, you don't have to worry about hopping over on rocks and stuff. Just walk across the damn things. As long as they're not more than about 14 inches deep, which this time of the year around here most of them aren't. You know, so listen to that. See, if I wanted to cross there, if I had my normal hiking boots on, I've got to find a way of getting across there and keep dry feet. But in welly boots, I just walk straight across it. Yep. Welly boots are good for cattle country. And look at this mud. If I was in my hiking boots, I'd be trying to find a way around this without slopping through all this mud. However, since I'm not, I don't have to worry about it. And it's a nice meadow down through it. That's why I come this way and not up through the cut line. The cut line brings you on a nice little ridge and you get about a 2-second view at the end of it. But I can tell you now, walking through these big meadows like this is just so nice. Yeah. If you looked at my video last week that I did, or the week before, I can't remember, it was last week's, I did the Deadfall and the Alder Alley on the northern end of 19. I came back through this way and it was absolutely full of cows. Yeah. Yes. There was an old campsite over there, and it, like I was saying earlier in my video, you can camp up in here pretty much anywhere you like, as long as you're off. You've got to be a kilometre off the road, and ideally you don't want to be camping next to water sources too close and all that, because of the noise and that, because there are bears up in here. But around here, your bigger problem is cows, because there ain't no way you're sleeping in. Those cows will walk right through your tent site, they don't care. Guy lines will be everywhere, it would just be a mess. Yeah. They try to avoid people. They don't particularly like people, but they're not worried. And then the cows up in here, they don't chase you. I've been to some places where the cows are quite nasty. They'll all herd up on you, which you suddenly get 200 cows start herding up on you and they're running at you. Trust me, that's not a nice feeling. It's only because they're curious. They always stop. They don't charge into you. They always stop just to see what you are. They're more interested in what you are as opposed to anything else. I will continue down here. This is the next creek crossing, and that little cut line piece that I showed you just now, if you went up along there, basically you go up through the trees here on the right hand side. I'll show you where you come down. It's just a nice little walk. From this top corner you get a bit of a view. That's where it is. So if you go along that cut line, it will bring you out on this corner. Oh Christ, come on cows, what a mess. Right. Yeah, so if you go across that cut line, it will bring you out on that corner right there. Yeah, so you just come down there. Yeah. Oh, I can feel the temperature. The temperature has literally just suddenly dropped because I'm down in the bottom by the water here. I kid you not, it must have dropped 4 or 5 degrees literally. Just walking down that slope. Oh, let's get back in the cool water. Let's cool my feet off. Get back in the shade. Yeah, so if you do that cut line piece, you can see the trail there. It comes down there, and it just cuts that corner off. But I prefer to walk through the meadows anyway. So. Oh, my feet are so nice now. That is good. Yeah, walking. It's probably about 15. I'm going to guess about 15 kilometres by the time I get back. In welly boots. I did 20 the other weekend, but it makes for hot feet, so when you find a nice creek like this, it's actually really nice to stand in it. Yeah. I showed you in one of the other videos, there used to be a big tree here and it had the diamonds on it, and you can still see them down there. There's one there and there's one the other side of the tree. There's no other big tree right here, otherwise I would move them to the big trees, but I guess that's considered historical now. That's part of the trail, so we will just let nature do what it does. I'm going to go up this hill and I'm going to turn off and I'll show you where I'm going next. If I was heading back to the Sheep River Road, well, either one of these two will take me there, but this is trail 19. There's the diamond in the tree, That'll take me back to where I normally park. There was an old pull out there, but they dug it all up. Not sure why. There was one of those nice little pull outs for hiking trails and stuff, but they literally dug it all out. I'm not sure why. That's all gone, but quite often I'll park on the little bit on the side of the road. That's trail 19. This is trail 20. So that's where I've just come. Over there, around the corner. So this is trail 20. This is new exploring. I've not been this way. We shall see what we've got down in here. This looks suspiciously flat. Why does this look suspiciously flat? See, up in here there was all kinds of roads and stuff years and years ago. This was all like logging and exploratory this and exploratory that. But why is that flat? Okay, curiosity's got the better of me. Whenever I see flat areas like this, I like to have a little rummage around, because you never know. On that bloody hole, I can hear water down in there. Let me go and have a look. Oh yeah, this was an old site of some description. They left their cutlery behind in their pots and pans, let's see. The old pots. That was somebody's breakfast bowl by the look of it. Yep. Some tins, some more tins over there. Christ, there's loads of tins. Huh. Look at that water. The water sounds good. Oh, okay. There's a nice little creek down in there. I guess that's a continuation of the one that I was on just now. Huh. What is that? Hang on. Just spotted something that looks man-made. Yes, that is definitely man-made. Let me get down there. What's the advantage of having boots? Oh yes, that is most definitely man-made. Oh, this is a nice little spot. Oh, I like this. This is rather cool. Literally rather cool. Because it's I've literally just come down here. This is cold. This is nice in here. Look at that up through there. Isn't that nice? I'll go for that. Oh, some bones there. There's a bone. Hang on. Huh. Well, that's interesting. That's a cut bone. See that? See how square that edge is? See, like when wildlife chews up bones, it's like that. That's a cut bone. Well, that's kind of interesting. Don't see too much of that. Normally we find bones. I find loads and loads of bones, because obviously bears and Christ knows what out here chewing up all kinds of crap. But yeah, that's unusual. That's a square cut bone. Right. So that's rather nice. Yeah, what'll be? So all kinds of questions going through my mind now. Why is there a cut bone out here? What I spotted from the top of the bank is this over here. That is a bridge. It was. Yeah. I'll get down there. How deep's the water? Oh, only about 6 inches. Yeah. So. Oh, that is so cool on my feet. Yeah, I'll take that. Okay, so I just discovered something new. I've been through this area quite a lot. There is a remains of a bridge here. There's a nice creek. There's a bloody great bank up there with like a cliff edge on it. That must be, those trees on the top there must be 50-60 feet. So that's probably 80 to 100 feet from the top there. No, more than that. 150. Straight down into the creek bed. So I ain't going along there, because you get a rock or something fall off the top of that. That could make for a very bad day. Well, I'll be a cut bone. That is most unusual. Cows obviously use this as a crossing, because there's lots of hoof prints up in here. And the cows come this way, so why do the cows come this way? So the wildlife knows all these places, because the wildlife lives here, see? They know all the shortcuts, they know all the good places, they know the places to hide. So I keep seeing cut bits of wood too, like firewood cut. Right. We've got a whole bunch. This is what forests should do. See this? So we've got all these young aspens in here. This is what forests do, right? So all up at Jasper, where that's burnt out now, there'll be loads and loads of this sprouting out the ground. And what they need to do is leave it, let it grow, return the forest to its natural function. It all got cleared out years and years ago, and basically turned over to crop use for conifers, so, which is great. But right, so I am going to check my handy dandy map. Yeah, there was definitely something here. Look at this. This site is very flat and covered in reasonably new aspens. But this is how an aspen forest takes over. This is really cool. It's nice to see. Yep, it's growing fast too. Some of these bits in here are 2 or 3 feet long. That's this year's growth too. Yeah, right. Now I have that way or that way. So I'm going to figure out which is my route, and then I'll be on my way. That's just looking back up towards that big drop off. That is quite the drop off. I think my estimate is off. I think that's a good 200 feet. That is easily 200 foot, almost straight down till you hit the shale. Stay off of that. So this looks like it's 20, because 20 was part of an old road, that I do know. And when you get these old roads, this is where you get a lot of this smaller scrub and that growing up in it. So that looks like it was a trail. This looks like the continuation of my trail. So let me get back on my way, and I'll do some more if I find anything exciting. Well, I'm back at the gorge. I'm just on the other side now. Yeah. Hill up over there. Yeah. I knew I'd have to come across this here soon. I'm not crossing this gorge because this gorge is, as you can see, extremely steep. So I'm going to head down that way. There's a road just down there. I'm going to head down there. So where I went this morning was I cut up across there, somewhere over there, up through that forest that way. That trail up that hill over there, I can't remember what that one's called. I think that one over there is Foreign Grade or something. I can't remember what that big hill there is called, but very popular hike, especially on a day like today. There's a piece of an old fence here. It's been there a while. Right, get off, nice. So I will head on my way back up over that side. I need to get the other side of this valley. So the only way I can do that is head down to the road. And this is why it pays to explore. Look at that. I will take that. I could look at that all day. Right, I need to head down to the road. This is why it pays to explore. Look at that. What a beautiful day. I'll take that. Right, I've got to get down into the bottom of this gorge somehow, so that might be interesting, so let me see what I can do. Okay, so now I know why it's called Gorge Creek. Yeah. Reading in the Daffrin's books and that, apparently there used to be an old wooden bridge up there, but that is quite the waterfall, eh? I'm going to head down a little bit further to this corner. I don't think I can get down any further. It's a bit too dangerous near this edge to be wandering around. I don't think I can get down there much further than that. It's a little steep down there, so I'll explore a little bit and see what I can see. Right, so since I've decided I have completely the wrong footwear on to proceed any further down here, that'd be kind of dangerous. I can see people have been down there, but I do not have the right kind of footwear on. I will call that it. Okay, that is as far as I'm going. The only problem coming down a steep hill, I guess, is I now have to go back up it. But that does make for a nice spot. I'm not sure of, if I went down any further, I'm not sure I could get back up, not in these boots. Right, so I will call that it for now and head back up the hill. Yes, decided that is as far as I'm going. Call that it. So it makes for an interesting picture though. Yeah. Wow, that is very nice. Right. We'll call that it. On that note, that is the East Gorge Creek Trail, 18 north to the cut line, turn left, down 19 and back along 20, Ended up coming along part of the power line there because 20's a bit overgrown. But, down through there, very nice. I need to get off this hill because it's a little slippery. And I will call that it for now. Thank you for coming along.